So we're looking at an agenda. I will show you some facts and figures as first point, then Zurich's vision. So how did we get to this topic? Then change and engage, because I'm a big believer in you can talk about a lot of things, but the big question is, how do I get into action? So one of my favorite things is getting into action. Strategy is important, but what do I do? And then lastly, a summary. Facts and figures. So if you look at our sustainability goals and how much we want to reduce CO2, it's pretty clear that we have to do a lot, but not a lot is happening. And that's a huge problem. Yeah. So we have we are meeting in Paris, we're meeting in Davos. I mean, we humans, we're doing a lot of things, but everything stays on paper. And if you look what is happening, then we are, I mean, really in trouble if we don't do something soon. Yeah? And I brought you one film in order to wake you up a little bit, and hopefully not a lot of you have seen it yet, because I think it's really funny and makes the point.
You okay? You need a minute? Cool. Okay. Listen up, people. I know a thing or two about extinction. And let me tell you, and you'd kind of think this would be obvious, going extinct is a bad thing. And driving yourselves extinct? In 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. At least we had an asteroid. What's your excuse? You're headed for a climate disaster, and yet every year governments spend hundreds of billions of public funds on fossil fuel subsidies. Imagine if we had spent hundreds of billions per year subsidizing giant meteors. That's what you're doing right now. Think of all the other things you could do with that money. Around the world, people are living in poverty. Don't you think helping them would make more sense than, I don't know, paying for the demise of your entire species? Let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now. As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance. So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
So start making changes. As a company, I mean, politicians have to do something anyhow, but as a company as well, and also you as individuals. How many of you have seen the film already? Oh, I'm relieved. So it's new for some of you. Good. So the question is also, how many of our customers and consumers are interested in the topic? And it's pretty clear that most of the customers are interested in the topic, and a lot of customers also already actively on sustainability. So it's a topic which is really important for most of us. Even though people, of course, right now talk about prices and inflation and whatever as well, but sustainability is a big topic, and everybody understood that we have to do something. If you take the bridge to innovation, green startups are the hot topic of the press right now as well. And they in Germany represent a share of almost 30%, which is also good. And I personally know a lot of them because we are working together with some of them. So the startups scene is also now moving in that direction and saying we have to do something, which is good. Also a clear sign. If you look at Zurich's vision, and that is really high fly our our vision, which we put as a brand. We said create a brighter future together. And that, of course, implies also that we have a sustainability angle to the company and also to the brand, because a brighter future has to include sustainability. And we have to think about the future. And if you look at the business model of insurance companies, we don't have a chance, because if you look at what is happening right now, all the environmental disasters are not very good for the business we're in. So we have to do something. So that is our global purpose. And change and engage is also one of our biggest frameworks. So we have a lot of initiative and alliances, which of course come from our headquarters, which is good for us in Germany as well. So we're in the Net Zero Insurance Alliance. We're looking at Davos every year because we're creating the global risk report. We have a sustainability strategy, which is defined on a global level, but then also drilled down to the local level. We have, and we support startups and initiatives globally, but also on a local level. Yeah, so we have a good starting point because we have the global basis, but also then on a local level, very good initiatives, which I will show in a second. And if you look at what we have done since 2011, so it's not only yesterday, yes, we started a lot of things in 2011, and we are now in 2023. We are prepared. We have to do a lot of things. Do we do enough as an industry, as a society, as humans? No, I don't think so. And even if we started talking about the challenge early enough, I think we are not there yet to say it's enough to save the world as it is today. And if you look at what is Zurich doing, and that is really high level because there are a lot of details behind that as well. So we have defined our 4 roles. We said we have our role as a company. We have a role as an insurer. We have a role to play in society, and we have a role to play as an investor. And if you look at how much money insurance companies have and what they can invest, it's of course pretty clear that this is our biggest lever where we can influence a lot as well. But I think we also have to look at symbolic values as a company and also as our role as society and with our products in order to say we do something. And of course, we're looking at things like everybody does. How much CO2 reduction do we have in travel, flights, going to the office every day? We just heard a presentation about IT helps us to change our culture as well. Do we have to sit in the office every day? No. So there are a lot of things we can do, and we put everything into a strategy with very specific goals, which we started publishing in 2021. And if you now go to our website, you find all the information, all the numbers, everything we're doing. So it's very transparent and public as well. And not only, oh yeah, we think it's a good idea, but it's very specific in terms of numbers. Yeah? So strategy into action. Yeah. So these are the 4 pillars. We are very specific in what we are doing. And when I started as a customer officer and as a marketeer, I said, okay, let us look at our products. And there's one product where we are very proud of, which we promoted in our communication, but we also then combined it with a lot of emotional messages. And I will show you our film in a second.
Jeder kann etwas tun.
And I'm sorry that it's in German.
Kann man auch mehr Verantwortung übernehmen. Deshalb fördern wir Nachhaltigkeit hier und überall auf der Welt. Für unsere Zukunft und die des Planeten. Gemeinsam. Jetzt sorgenfrei Vermögen fürs Alter aufbauen. Mit unseren nachhaltigen Fonds und einer Top-Rendite.
So we were talking about life products and sustainability investments. We are also showing a lot of emotional pictures and say everybody can do something, because it's not about just delegating it away to somebody else who has to do something. You can do something as well. And I think it's good that we have a specific product offering as well, which we showed in this spot. Do we have all the products that's sustainable yet? No, of course not, because it's not that easy to switch. Of course, we have things like e-mobility policies and whatever we have. Are we happy with the results yet? No, I think there's a lot more to do when it comes to product portfolio, but at least we have a very good starting point. And if you look at the sales, more than 80% are already in these green products, green life products. So the company is very happy also with the business success in our traditional sales channels, but also in our partnership with Deutsche Bank. Yeah? If you look at the pillar where we say we look at society, there are a lot of projects and also initiatives which we are promoting, and I will show you some of the examples. Yeah? For example, we have a whole program. It is around the B2B clients and the resilient solutions. So what we're offering right now is those clients full support in evaluating their situation and helping them to evaluate how they can grow more in the sustainability area and how they can be more resistant in the future. So that's a special service which we offer to our most important clients right now. And we can also demonstrate with numbers that they're really increasing their sustainability actions, respectively CO2 reductions, which is very helpful for us, but then also the businesses work together with. And that's one of the key assets working together with our huge clients. Because sometimes there's a tendency to say, oh, most of it is retail, and retail is easy, but B2B is very important as well. And you can do a lot in this B2B arena. And here's a whole program around it where we are very proud of. What we also said is that we need to help customers in their daily life to do something. Because most of the clients we talked to said, yes, I think sustainability is important, but give me a tip what to do. So what do I do? What do I best do in order to be more sustainable? And it's easy to say, okay, fine, I don't take plastic bags when I go to a supermarket. I take other things, but all the other tips and tricks which you haven't thought of and which are important in your daily life as well is something which we want to promote. And this is why we developed this so-called sustainability app, Planet Hero. And for those of you who are not living in Germany, I'm very sorry to say you can only download it if you're living here in Germany and are German citizens, so sorry about that one. But this is an app which we developed in order to say, how can you in your daily life make a difference as well? Because it's not only about companies, politicians, but it's also about me and myself. Mareike is here, my colleague who helped me to put together this presentation. And I'm always completely impressed. She's not the only one. I mean, she's not buying new clothes anymore. She goes to a website where you can buy second-hand clothes, which is very nice, but you reuse is one of the big things. Yeah? She is vegetarian because she also believes it's not good to promote meat consumption. It's, by the way, also healthier. And she's not the only one in the team. There are a lot of young people who now say, I completely switched the way how I live. And we just had a discussion in the break because she said, what are you doing in your daily life? And I said, look, it's not that easy for me because I'm a bit older and I'm used to certain things, and habit change is the most difficult thing. But I'm trying. Yeah? So I'm also eating much more without meat. I'm also not buying so many things anymore. And car sharing is also something we are looking at. Although I have to admit, we still have 2 cars because I need one, my husband needs one. But we're getting there, that we will change that. Good. What we also then launched is a so-called Planet Hero Award because we believe it's worth promoting projects that have great ideas, but they don't have the money to scale, and it's important. It's not that easy for them to grow and scale. We have a partnership together with Boris Herrmann, the big sailor, who's also promoting sustainability, and together with him we launched the so-called Planet Hero Award. Yeah. If you look at Boris himself, and now comes the angle with technology again, Boris is sailing around the world, and he has I call it machine in English, I don't know how to call it really, a machine where he collects ocean data. And that is important because it's not that easy yet to gather ocean data. If you look at how boats are traveling the world, most of them are traveling around the coast. Not a lot of them are away from the coast, collecting data in areas which are not that accessible. And right now, I don't know if you have heard it, we have the ocean race, where all the boats are traveling around the world. Boris Herrmann is one of them, and he's collecting CO2 in the ocean water and the CO2 levels. Another boat is collecting microplastic particles in the ocean, and they're doing a huge favor to universities and people and scientists they're working together with, because we don't have enough data yet about the ocean, and the ocean is a huge part of our sustainable life, and we have to make sure that we understand and collect all this data. If you look at his boat, and you see it here, he has climate action now on his boat as well, the ESG wheel, and he's using his sailing platform in order to promote the topic sustainability. And that's something which is popping up more and more, that also people who are doing sports are using sustainability in order to get their key messages through. And there's a huge program behind it, which I believe is worth to support, to put it like that. Yeah? When we launched the Planet Hero Award, one of the first winners was Reeves. That's a film I want to share with you as well, because I'm completely fascinated about this team and what they're doing. And let me share the story in a video.
Unsere Umwelt funktioniert wie ein Uhrwerk und wir können nicht hingehen und immer wieder einzelne dieser Zahnräder rausnehmen und glauben, dass diese Uhr dann einfach weiterläuft.
So this is
Wenn
what
es so
reefs, and
weitergeht,
the
werden wir
reefs are
2050
dying.
wahrscheinlich so, wie wir jetzt Riffe kennen, gar nicht mehr haben.
She says
Manche
we will
von
not
diesen
have reefs
Ökosystemen
anymore in
sind am Sterben.
2050
Meine
if you
innere
continue
Ich
like
sagt,
this.
Du musst was machen.
Wir müssen jetzt einfach anfangen, die Zahnräder wieder einzusetzen und dafür zu sorgen, dass die noch da sind, uns erhalten bleiben.
Wir sind Reefs und wir bauen aus 3D-gedruckten Tonelementen Korallenriffe wieder auf, um Korallen und anderen Riffbewohnern ein neues Zuhause zu geben.
Wenn wir uns sicher sind, dass das Riffsystem so funktioniert, wie wir uns das vorstellen, dann heißt es wirklich richtig schnell größer werden. Wir müssen einfach kilometerlange Riffe wieder aufbauen können.
They started building those reefs with 3D printers 2 years ago. Yeah, we helped them to get the first startup fund, so to speak, and they are now they can now prove that what they are doing works, and they are getting more and more scale and are building more and more reefs. Still not that many, of course, but I think it's good that we help them to at least get going, and they are now hugely successful also to get other investors on board. I brought you this in order to demonstrate also where we are. If we are looking at the 1.5 degrees, we're still talking about 70 to 90% of the coral reefs that will not be there anymore because of the climate change. If we're talking about 2 degrees, I mean, they're gone. Just to make it clear. And if we are reaching the 1.5, that doesn't mean we can be happy and then there's some trick and technology to make it better again and we're going back to normal. It's gone. Yeah? I mean, then you really have to do something in order to fix the world because it's not as it is anymore today. And 2% is already a huge problem. Huge problem. Yeah? Another company I really admire, because they're all non-profit startups. Yeah? It's called Water 3.0. If you want to look at their website, because they are focusing on getting out the microplastic out of the water. When I heard about their presentation, I was completely shocked where we all have, I mean, drinking water, you can be sure you drink microplastic as well. I mean, microplastic is all over the place. And I just read an article that said microplastic in the ocean is also a huge problem, huge. And if we don't reduce plastic and then consequently microplastic as well, and there are technologies that can do that, that will be also a huge problem for humanity. Yeah? And they found a method to take out the microplastic out of the water. It's like they have a technology that lumps together the plastic and then they can take it out of the water. The only thing, of course, they still need is funding. So if you're interested, look at their website, because they still, of course, need money as well. And we have a lot of projects where we now say, put the money in projects like that. For example, if people have their birthdays, if we're collecting funds, we put it in there, and don't get into this chocolate, flowers thing anymore, but we're saying we're putting our money in there. So we as a team decided to promote sustainability projects instead of buying more chocolate, for example. Another example which I like and is a bit male-oriented are race cars with solar panels. Some of the really sustainability-driven colleagues of mine say, how can you do that? Because it's still a car and we shouldn't promote cars. But I'm a big fan of using technology for other ideas and then also promoting things which people like. I'm not a big fan of saying, oh, this is what you cannot do, and stop this, and oh, this is danger. I'm more into enjoy your life and find different solutions. This is why I opted for helping them as well. It's a group of students at a university, and I think it's a good idea also to say, how do we do things like racing in a different way? And solar energy is one of them. And just to look at the main initiatives which we put together, which are also partly technology driven. I mean, first of all, we have this global framework where we say, what is Zurich as a whole doing? We broke that down into specific targets in Germany, where we say we have the 4 roles. This is what we want to achieve. Because one of the things I also wanted to avoid is this big thing of greenwashing. Yeah, you can have nice spots on air, but if people say, there you don't do anything, that's still a problem. So be very specific. Publish what you talked about. We did that at a press conference in 21. And you can now go to our website and see all the activities combined in one leaflet. So you can see everything we're doing. Then we launched the sustainability app. We have a campaign around sustainability. We now have a big management engagement as well, because starting from 2023, we have sustainability targets in our target cards. Yeah, so our CEO decided together with us that we have sustainability goals in the target cards, and that makes a huge difference. A lot of people are still target card driven, so put it into the target cards, and then you have the attention. So target card is also a big thing. Then we're also looking always at ratings. So where are we compared to other companies, which is also important. And then this whole thing about innovation. We will have a Planet Heroes Summit end of the year. We will have a green startup competition coming up soon. So there are a lot of things we are now pushing in order to say technology has to help to solve the biggest problem of the world. That's high-level summary of the activities we're doing. If I would summarize my presentation, I would say it's very important to acknowledge that we don't want to end up like the dinos. Don't do it. It is also important to motivate companies and customers to act. Other companies means really B2B resilience program. We have a big lever also in our investment portfolio to say you have to do something. I'm a big believer in combining sustainability and technology. I personally don't believe without technology we can make it. So we have to have good ideas in order to get out of this crisis. Otherwise, we will not make it. And then promote ideas, startups, initiatives. Even if they are small in the beginning, at least it's symbolic, and you can help them to make it bigger. And there are great ideas out there, really great ideas. I'm always impressed what people are looking at. So that is, in short, my technology and innovation summary. Questions, remarks? My final word, of course, I borrowed it from Boris, a race we must win. We have to act now. same. I mean, what they do is the same thing. They say, what can we do as a company? So, I mean, reduce CO2 in our, alone this thing about traveling around the world, and I was in headquarters 3 years ago. You don't want to know how many times I flew around the world, and everybody thought it was normal, and to have a Senator card or Hon card was the status thing of the year. Today, nobody would show you that card anymore because it's pretty clear that we have to travel less, we have to use less electricity, and so forth. So they're clear company goals. Then this whole thing working together with B2B companies around the world. We have huge business in the States. We have huge business in the UK for B2B companies. We have huge business around the world to work together with them. We have an investment portfolio where you can influence as well and say where and how do I invest. So I mean, you have a big impact also on a global basis, and it's basically what we do mirroring what we do on a global basis. And then of course we're in all those alliances where we try to push as an industry and say, look, if we don't take care of it as big companies, who does it? Yeah? Because in the end we don't have a business model anymore if we don't do anything. Did I answer your question? Good.
Then thank you very much, Monika.
Your applause.